Maestro Mouse and the Mystery of the Missing Baton. Written and illustrated by Peter W. Barnes and Cheryl Shaw Barnes. The audience grows silent and the concert hall grows dim. The stage is set, the lights go up, and someone says, "It's him!" The master of Rachmaninoff, of Beethoven and Strauss. A truly great conductor, now presenting Maestro Mouse. The maestro is incomparable, the critics all agree. He leads the National Symphony Orchestra in Washington, D.C. At the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, named for a special president who touched our thoughts and hearts. The orchestra's musicians are the finest in the land. They wait for Maestro patiently, await his guiding hand. Await not just instruction, but the maestro's inspiration. Quiet now, the maestro is so deep in concentration. He steps on the conductor's box and turns to take a bow, then turns back to the orchestra, a furrow in his brow. Then suddenly he stops and stares. It looks like something's wrong. He turns and shouts, "My goodness gracious! My baton is gone!" The crowd cries out, "Oh no! Impossible! How can it be? With no baton, there is no tune, no notes, no symphony." The hall is in a panic now, the orchestra a flurry. When suddenly some children rush the stage. "Come on now, hurry!" "Maestro Mouse," the children said, "we're here to help, you'll see. Your baton, we'll find it fast. We'll solve this mystery. We'll search throughout the orchestra. We'll search in every nook. We'll search in every instrument, each cranny and each crook." They started in the section where the orchestra begins, in many compositions, very softly, violins. But they didn't find it in the strings or any of the cases. A look of disappointment came across their furry faces. The grand piano stood nearby. They raced to look inside, to see if somewhere in it a baton might try to hide. But no, it wasn't in the bench or in between the keys. It wasn't in the pedals either, or in the melodies. It wasn't in the xylophone, the cymbals, or the harp, though someone accidentally plucked a beautiful F sharp. They looked inside the French horns, too, to see what they could see. It wasn't there, and neither was it in the timpani. They searched the trumpets and trombones, but once again, alas, the only thing they find in them was lots of twisted brass. They looked inside the woodwinds next, the flutes and piccolo, the clarinets, the big bassoon and oboes. Oh, but no. They looked inside the tuba too, so big and round and stout, they turned it upside down, but no baton came tumbling out. They ran to check the other strings, the cellos and the basses, the violas too, and then outside to look in other places. They looked around the Hall of States and the bust of JFK, but they came back empty-handed to the orchestra's dismay. The maestro kept up hope in the crescendo of the hunt, as did the anxious patrons in their seats from back to front. But shortly, quickly, it was clear, as everyone had feared, the baton the maestro loved so much had simply disappeared. "Come here," the grateful maestro said. "Come all you children now. I thank you for your help, young friends, and please, please take a bow." And as they walked across the stage to follow his command, a little mouse named Wolfgang turned and shook the maestro's hand. Then Wolfgang noticed something he could simply not believe. he saw the lost baton stuck right inside the maestro's sleeve. Wolfgang shouted, "Maestro, look! I have found your lost baton. It's right there, tucked inside your sleeve. Now the concert can go on." The embarrassed Maestro mumbled, "My dear friends, I must confess, I forgot I slipped it in there in my absent-mindedness." "Please forgive me," he continued, and they did, of course, because he's their one and only Maestro. They responded with applause. "Thank you, friends," the Maestro said. "Now be quiet, if you please. We'll begin our program shortly with Beethoven's Ode to Cheese." He turned and tapped the music stand. The orchestra was ready. He held his baton above, so confident and steady. Then suddenly he pulled it down, across, and in a flash, the trumpets started pealing and the cymbals clanged and crashed. The orchestra was wonderful. It played so brilliantly on that warm September night in Washington, D.C. Thanks to a great conductor, the amazing Maestro Mouse, who had, again, with genius, skill, and grace, brought down the house. That was Maestro Mouse and the mystery of the missing baton. Thank you.